Hi, I'm just here to yap about my album some more. I know I've already made like 5 videos in the past yapping about my album, but it's really exciting. There's been a lot of cool stuff happening with it, and now we're like in that final stretch where we're down to like, what, a little less than 4 months until this thing releases, and you guys will actually be able to hear some of it very soon. In fact, only 4 days from the time of me recording this video, you guys will be able to hear it. So, go down to the comments, and the top pinned comment, there will be a link to where you can pre-order it on like iTunes and Spotify and whatnot, and when it releases, it'll be available on more stuff, right? Like, it's gonna be available on like 30 some streaming services. We're talking like Pandora, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify. Like, it's going to be literally everywhere. So that it'll also obviously be here on the channel. It'll be going up midnight this coming Friday, midnight EST, so you know, you can obviously look forward to that. And yeah, I'm just so excited. I was very torn, right? Because okay, here's the thing, the single you guys are going to hear, it's pretty rough. It is the final version of the song, like that, like, you know, the album's basically complete at this point. I just need to go in, do the final thing. There's a few vocals I have to re-record. I was re-listening to some of it and I was like, okay, vocals kind of need touched up on a few of these tracks, so I really got to go in, hammer out some of the vocals, and then kind of finish up the mixing and mastering side of things. But, you know, at that point, I'm basically done. You know, instrumentally, lyrically, and a good portion of the vocals for the album, it's done. It's just sitting on my hard drive. But the first single you guys are going to hear, because I had 2 options with this album. Like on the lead up to it anyway, I could either do the 2 singles that I knew would be safe, because there's like a pop, punk, rock song on the album. It's the most, like, how do I explain this? Like, you know, it's still a pretty deep song, but it's one of those songs where you hear it and it's just like, okay, yeah, that's a single for the album. Because, like, the hook is, like, so catchy right off the rip, because there's, like, a pause after the verse and it goes into the hook, goes like, burn it, 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 and the words go along with it. It's like, depressed, lonely, spend all of my time loathing, and then after that, it does that twice, and then it goes into like this really catchy hook that I have, and that could have been like such a safe single. And honestly, I'm still figuring out if I want to put that one out as a single or if I just want to wait till the album drops. I think that might be the next single, just do something safe for the next one. But for the very first one, I was like, okay, there's another song on the album that's pretty safe that I easily could have done. But I decided no. I decided I was going to put the intro track out as the first single. And, you know, listening to it, that was kind of like a gutsy move on my end, because it's a very raw track. It sounds like shit. And it sounds like shit intentionally. Like, sonically, in terms of music, it's still music, right? Like, it still sounds, but it's one of those songs where you listen to it and it's literally breaking apart as you listen to it. But with the way I recorded it in a way to where it sounds like it's breaking down and it could fall apart at any moment, but it just like barely hangs on in the mix, right? Because the way I did it, I don't want to spoil too much of it yet, because obviously you guys haven't heard it yet. But, you know, this will make more sense when you come back to watch this video, if you do, after the single actually releases. I recorded so many takes of me doing that song in order to kind of replicate the feeling of, like, how OCD feels and, like, all the other things where it feels like there's constantly all these voices barraging in my head. And that's why, because timing-wise, the timing was almost perfect, but there was a few parts where I just kind of let some of the timing fly off the rails a little bit, you know, just make it sound a little unhinged, make it sound a bit crazy, and it's like one of the realest things I've ever written. It's the intro track to the album. There's no hooks, there's no choruses, there's none of that. It's literally just 4 minutes of pure fury, and just me just, like, yelling into a microphone and just being like, hey, here's everything wrong with me. Like, I left no stone left unturned. I mean, there was a few things, actually, no, never mind, yeah, I touched on literally everything. Like, you know, my addictions, family troubles, exes, you know, fake friends and all that, stuff wrong with my head. I was like, hey, bro, I'm just gonna, like, trauma dump on you in, like, 4 minutes, and it's just, like, 105 BPM, nothing but fury, 4 minutes straight, and I did it all in one take each time. And just a bit of fun trivia for that song when it finally releases, I almost threw up 3 different times recording that song, because it was actually a really hard, like, diaphragm exercise. Basically, for those that don't do music or are just kind of unfamiliar with it, when you breathe when you're singing, you can't just do your normal lungs. You have to, like, breathe into your diaphragm, because that's how you support your voice in a more healthy way, and it allows you to just, I don't know, it helps you not only, yes, have more oxygen and just, like, air to work with, but it also just makes you sound a bit more powerful. Because, like, I mean, normally when I speak now, since I've been singing and doing so much lately, I actually just kind of talk naturally with my diaphragm, which is, like, you know, I've just gotten, like, so in tune with it, which is why my voice tends to, like, resonate a bit more than some people's. But for that song, it was such a hard exercise for me, because I had to do so many different takes and layer all of them. I had to make sure my timings were perfect, make sure my phrasings and the way that I was doing it, like, my expression progression going into it, and you can hear it in the track. It kind of like breaks apart as it goes on. Like I said, I'm trying not to spoil too much of it, but you can literally hear me like descending into madness the further that it gets onto the track, because at first it starts out controlled, but by the time like the 1.5 minute mark hits, it's just like, I didn't even care, dude. I just went off the rails. But basically, the whole song, I don't really stop rapping at any point through it. I have each bar lasts for about 4 to 5 seconds. 4 to 5 seconds. You more towards like the 5-second mark. It's like 4.75 seconds, and I only have like barely half a second to breathe in between each bar. So I'm going like here. Hold on. Let me do a timer real bit quick. So it's sort of like like seriously, I was looking at the thing on here. Like that's basically how it was. But I'm just so excited for that to release. Oh, also, I'm pretty pissed because I found out that the only way to get animated album covers on like Spotify and iTunes and all that is if you're like from a record label. Like what? I was like looking on the thing. Like you have to be like a well-established thing, like one of the big bands, like Metallica, or a big artist like Eminem or something, you know, one of the big labels backing you in order to be able to do that. It's so stupid, man. I was looking at mine because obviously I'm like an independent, you know, like label or whatever. You know, I'm just going by G Records. That's like that's the name of my little independent record label, but yeah, dude, that pissed me off so bad, because I was like, what? I had this whole thing ready. But don't worry, that means that you people on YouTube will just have, like, the most deluxe experience, because you guys will indeed have that animated album cover, which does look pretty cool. And yeah, like I said, you guys here on YouTube will get access to the song at the same time as everybody else. I just have to be careful, because with the way that I published it, I am probably gonna get copyright strikes by my own song, which is kind of funny, because it's gonna be getting uploaded to another YouTube channel, just because that's the way that the label works. But I'm gonna upload it to mine too, because this is like my YouTube channel, and I'll fight the copyright claim, because I have like the identification thing to show like, okay, I actually own this song. It's just a pain in the ass nonetheless. I actually kind of just want to go ahead and like talk about the album a little bit. Like, hold up, first things first, let me just go ahead and like pull up the track list again. And I will say, this is probably the last time that I'm gonna like, you know, talk about the album in a video like this, because I know I've gone on and on lately, but I'm just so excited about it. There's like a lot that I want to talk about with it, and this is kind of like the final stretch where it's like, okay, you guys are gonna hear it here soon, so I kind of just want to like prep everybody for what's coming, but also I don't want to prep y'all too much, because, you know, part of the fun is hearing it for the first time. As I look for this, I will say, like, yeah, this week I'm gonna be going through, and this is gonna be the week where I finish up the album completely, so it's gonna be done like months in advance. Okay, there it is. I just found it. So yeah, there's 12 tracks on the album. We'll just kind of go ahead and run through this together again. We got Survivor intro, and then Survivor, which Survivor is the one that's coming out. You guys won't hear the intro piece until like, you know, the album actually drops, because you know, it's not relevant. It's just like part of the album, whatever. And then it goes, Did This to Myself, IDGAF, which is a pretty cool song. That's actually a song I wrote like, oh my gosh, man, that was like 7 years ago now, but I've changed it so much, because like the hook originally went like, I don't give a fuck what you say, what you think, what you do about you. Fuck, how did that go originally? I don't give a fuck what you say, what you think, what you do about you, something, something, something. And then I made another version of it like 5 years ago that went like, I don't give a fuck what you say, what you think, or what you do about you. Yeah, I never fucking do. If talking shit is all that your ass do, then I'm making this fucking record just for you. And it was like kind of like this stupid fucking bullshit. But then I made a new version of it, which I really like, which you guys won't hear until the album actually comes out. But it's like actually completely different now. Like the angry thing I wrote back in high school is just, it's like a whole other track now, and I'm so glad that like I redid it again. Track 5 is called Why Am I Such a Mess, and that is the next single. I think that's what I'm gonna do. That's like the pop punk rocky one. Track 6 is Memories. That one's pretty cool. That one is actually, it's like all piano, and I'm just rapping and singing over piano. There's like no rap beat. I intentionally made that one like as raw as possible, because that's a song that's been in the works for like 6 years as well, and I sat there with it for like the longest time, and I was like, I tried, man. I wrote that piano piece like 7 years ago, 6-7 years ago now. I kept trying to add drums to it. I kept trying to add bass to it. I kept doing all these things. I was like, dude, I can't. It sounds too grand every time I do something. That's when I realized, like, oh, I just need this song to be raw. So I rapped and sung over just a piano, and it sounds great. Then track 7 is Happy Place, and then track 8 is Survivor Interlude, just like an interlude that leads into the second half of the album, or really the latter half of the album. There's only 4 songs after that. Track 9 is Leave a Scar, which is is like angry hate letter, like Slipknot Korn style stuff. It's great. Track 10 is Can't Quit You, which is a really cool song. It's like a double meaning song. Won't spoil that one either. Track 11 is called I Don't Deserve You, typical love song bullshit. And then track 12 is Leave, which is also kind of love song bullshit, but like kind of not at the same time, because it's also just like life bullshit too. But that's a really cool one to close the album, because that's just like straight up acoustic ballad. After all the metal, punk rock, and fucking like rap sprinkled in here, just ending on an acoustic ballad felt pretty cool, because I've always liked that. Like Seether's Karma and Effect, and Slipknot Subliminal Verses, right? Like that's the one that ends on like Danger Keep Away. I always like the idea of just like taking a really chaotic album and then like ending on like a really soft, bitter note. So that kind of influenced my decision there. But otherwise, yeah, man, Survivor. Like I said, it's a pretty awesome album overall. And then that's obviously the title track is gonna be the first single coming out here soon. And I'm really excited for everybody to hear it, because you know, it's a really raw song. Sonically, it kind of sounds like shit on purpose, and that's why I love it. I also still haven't decided on the 10 people that will be receiving a signed CD yet, so if you're interested in getting one of those, I'm only going to be giving out about, like, maybe 10 of those, so if you want one of those, hit me up in the comments, or especially if you really want to solidify your place, go into the description of this video and find one of my social medias, preferably like Instagram, and just DM me there, because like I'll look through the YouTube comments, but if you really want to have a chance at it, that's probably the best way to do it, honestly. Either that or join the Discord server. That's also like a really good spot. Actually, I'd actually say probably do the Discord server and then Instagram, just, you know, whichever. I had some cool ideas for merch too. I kind of want to put like the album cover on like a black shirt or something, and then on the back have like the track list or something. I think that'd be pretty tight. But anyway, yeah, I don't want to waste your guys' time too much there. Just kind of looking through, seeing if I had anything else to say. But I think that's really it. That's just kind of where we're at. We're in the final stretch of the album now, like I was saying. And yeah, over the course of the next week, I'm just going to go through, redo some of the vocals, make sure the mixing and mastering is on point. I'm going to listen to it like 5 million times. And then towards the end of next month, I'm going to get it submitted. So then there's like a nice 3-month run up. Probably drop the next single. If we're doing this one July 4th, what do I mean, I don't even know when to do the next one. Do I do it in like September? Maybe sometime in August or September, I think we'll drop the next one. But yeah, that's where we're at. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, go down to the top link in the description or the pinned comment to pre-order my first single, Survivor, coming out July 4th. Full album releasing on my birthday, October 26th. Yeah. It's so freaking cool. But anyways, always massive shout out to all the patrons and channel members that get all even the low baller tier, and an even bigger shout out to on the ball team, the last king, and be Dan and many, and the big shout out on D tier. I'm some cheese girl. Thank you guys so much, guys. Literal legends. I love you. Have an amazing day. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.